Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are St. Louis.
This is St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Tailgating outside of Miller Park, or tradition here in Milwaukee. And it's game number 2 between the St. Louis Cardinals and the Milwaukee Brewers. All throughout Major League Baseball, we celebrate Roberto Clemente Day. The Cardinals took game 1 last night. Tremendous start from Carlos Martinez. Took a no decision. In the 10th, Jason Hayward unloads on this pitch. 2-run homer. That made it 3-1. Rosenthal closed it out with save number 44. And the Cardinals had win number 90 in 2015. With Al Raboski, I'm Dan McLaughlin. Welcome to St. Louis Cardinals baseball. Now we turn the page. Look ahead to game number 2 this evening, and that means it's Jaime Garcia.
I think for the last 4 days, Jaime's been waiting to turn the page also, coming off his worst start of the year. But I think that he's going to pitch like he always has against Milwaukee, and that's outstanding. They've set the tone, the starting pitchers. Let's hope they get some offense for him tonight. 2 big left-handed bats are in the lineup tonight for Mike Matheny's club. That's Jason Hayward. And leading things off, Matt Carpenter. Baseball coming out.
humanitarian efforts off the field and the difference he made in the lives of many. There are nominees throughout all of Major League Baseball. The Cardinals have had winners of the Clemente Award throughout the years. 1975, it was Lou Brock. Hall of Famer Ozzie Smith, the winner in 1995. Albert Pujols won it in 2008. Most recently, former Cardinals outfielder Carlos Beltran in 2013. The nominee from the Cardinals in 2015, Adam Wainwright, making a difference off the field. Baseball next. A plan to make it home. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. And visit your local Mid-America Chevy dealers for great prices on our all-new 2015 vehicles today. Miller Park in Milwaukee opened up back in 2001. The roof is open. The paneling beyond the left and right center field wall is open as well, and the ball flies here. It's 74 degrees. Along with Pat Nell, I'm Dan. A look at the Cardinals lineup. Matt Carpenter, Steven Piscotty, and Jason Hayward. Johnny Peralta, Yadier Molina, Colton Wong. Tommy Pham gets the start in left. John Jay in center. And on the mound at batting ninth, Jaime Garcia. So Moss, Adams, Garcia on the left side of the bench. Matt Holliday is activated for the second game. And we hope to see him at some point pinch hit. Willie Peralta, the 26-year-old from the Dominican Republic, gets the call tonight.
Has to be a very disappointing year for Peralta. He was their pitcher of the year last year, winning 17 ball games. They thought this was going to be a takeoff season for him. He has been on the disabled list 2 months with a left oblique strain, and he's had his problems with the Cardinals. 4-7 lifetime. He's 0-4 in his last 5 starts against the Cardinals. 0-3 this year with a 4.50 ERA. And Matt Carpenter has great success against him.
A look at the pitch arsenal, and the one pitch to really watch with Willie Peralta, it's the Hyundai pitch arsenal, is his slider. If he has his slider on, it could be a long night for the Cardinals.
Yeah, he's just, he does that fastball, the 2-4-seamer, and the sinker, and it can get up there pretty good velocity. But it's the slider is what he gets a lot of people to chase and swing and miss. The only problem is this year they're not missing it as much as they have in the past.
So here is Carpenter. He'll lead it off, and the first pitch is a fastball and a strike. Carpenter is 0 for his last 7. Average is dipped to 257. 21 home runs to lead the club, and he's driven in 73. Here's an 0-1 pitch. The other aspect of Peralta to watch throughout the telecast tonight, repeatable delivery. There's been a little bit of a drop in velocity. Mechanics have been an issue for him this year. Normally pretty free and easy towards the plate, and then you see that 95 to 97 mile an hour fastball.
Career wise, he's a 500 pitcher, 35 and 35, ERA over 4. As I said, they thought he was going to really come into his own and take off this year, and it's the first time in his career he's been on the DL.
Here's a 1-2. Carpenter lifts it in the air out to deep left center field. Schaefer is back at the wall, and it's off his glove and off the wall. Carpenter trotting into second base with a double.
And that's had good success against him. He misses a home run by probably a couple feet right there. And what Matt Carpenter does as a leadoff hitter really does set the tone for what the Cardinal offense will do.
Boy, Schaefer was oh so close to making a tremendous catch in left center.
Pretty good outfielder, and he gets up here and let's see, the ball goes off the fingertips of the glove. Never hit the webbing. If he would have hit the webbing, he would have been able to hold on to it. But out on the little finger, it bounces off the glove. Would have been high off the wall. Gets a double, and you see Carpenter now getting those doubles on a consistent basis.
Now Stephen Piscotty. 1 ball, no strikes. Runner in scoring position for the Cardinals, and that's Carpenter. Piscotty, a terrific catch in left field last night.
36th double of the year for Carpenter. Piscotty needs to get him over at the very least, preferably drive him in. He's done a nice job in his 50 games with those 30 RBIs.
Here's a 1-1 pitch. Fouled back in a good cut.
And he saw a pitch out away from him that he thought he could shoot to the right side. It's one thing about Piscotty, you know, you get a lot of young hitters and they're either pull hitters or they kind of don't really know how to use the entire field. I think that's one of Piscotty's strengths, that he will spray the ball around.
Hitting .417 with runners in scoring position. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Real good plate coverage. Would you agree?
I would, but you know, it's funny to me. You know, here you got a .330 hitter, and so many times you watch him. You talk about balance, but so many times, like that last pitch, he'll fall across the plate. Part of it's trying to protect pitches and trying to have that, you know, that balance, but he's off balance an awful lot.
1-2 is a called third strike. First strikeout for Willie Peralta. Strikeouts have been way down this year for him. Last year he had 154 to lead the Brewers. This year, just 56 in 100 innings.
Yeah, I noticed that also, and that was a tough pitch right there. It looked like a good sinking fastball and kind of caught Piscotty by a little surprise and ended up down and in. Good movement.
What a night for Jason Hayward in Game 1. First time since 2013 with Atlanta with 3 or more extra base hits in a game. A pair of doubles and a home run. First pitch taken for a ball outside, and he is swinging the hottest bat in this lineup. 10 for 20 on the road trip, and riding a 6-game hitting streak, and during these 6 games hitting .478.
He's really been hot. He's got 2 doubles in the last 2 games and multi-hit games his last 4.
Here's a 1-0. Hayward breaks his bat. Carpenter will advance to third. That bat was very close to getting Peralta, and he's shaking his hand a little bit. As Davis is in left, Schaefer in center, Santana is in right field. Perez, Segura, Herrera, and Rogers on the infield. Maldonado is behind the plate. Lucroy dealing with a concussion, and that's presented by Dobbs.
Talked about last night, Johnny Peralta really benefited from the weekend off and then the off day on Monday. The entire team did, but he's back in familiar hitting territory. He loves hitting this ballpark.
First RBI last night since September 1st.
I mean, he just kind of was worn into the ground, just playing day after day after day. No break for Johnny. And I think the entire ball club, once they won on Sunday and enjoyed the off day Monday, they come back to play the next 2 weeks.
1-0 pitch. Peralta with that RBI. It was a single in the 6th inning that drove in Hayward for the Cardinals' first run to tie the game. Then St. Louis won it on the 2-run homer by Jason Hayward. 1 ball, 1 strike with 2 outs and a runner at third. The next to the Cardinals shortstop. Certainly a big story of last night's game. The pitching of Carlos Martinez, 9 strikeouts. His defensive play, his double off the wall, a pickoff, a little bit of everything. He was terrific. Reaches for it and a line drive that's hit to short. Segura is there, puts it away. Carpenter left stranded. No score after a half inning. Segura, Hernan Perez, and Jason Rogers here in the first inning, followed by Davis, who had a long home run, number 21 last night. Domingo Santana, Elian Herrera, the switch hitter, Martin Maldonado, Logan Schaefer, and the pitcher batting ninth, Willie Peralta. Jaime Garcia will make his 17th start, and this is the bench for Milwaukee here tonight, which includes Ryan Braun, who is a late scratch dealing with back spasms, so they had to change their lineup about an hour and a half before our first pitch tonight. Braun is available to come off the bench. So Jaime Garcia against Milwaukee this year has given up 1 run in 14 innings. The Cardinals as a whole have been incredible against Milwaukee. The pitching staff just terrific.
And Jaime Garcia, just take away his last start, it would end up a loss for him, and it was his 5th loss. All 5 losses the Cardinals have been shut out in, but that was just a bad start. They lost 11-0. But other than that, Jaime Garcia has gone 6 innings and given up 3 runs or less in every start. So let's get back to what's normal for Jaime, and we'll see a Cardinal victory tonight.
He allowed a season-high 6 runs in 4 1/3 against Cincinnati. But overall, just a terrific year for Garcia. Has not had a lot of run support. You go back to the beginning of August, he is 5-1 with a 2.68 ERA.
And he's just pitching outstanding baseball. And I think the one thing, we've only seen him throw 1 pitch tonight, but that's probably 1 more pitch that he kept down in the zone. That was his problem in Cincinnati. Couldn't keep the ball out of the middle of the plate. Everything was up and in the middle, and when he keeps the ball down, that's when he has that unbelievable movement on all of his pitches.
Well, the Cardinals have just had Milwaukee's number this year. There's a chopper to short. Peralta gets his counterpart for the first out. Brewers lost their 4th straight against the Cardinals. They have just 10 wins in the last 36 home games against St. Louis as you get a look at the Hyundai pitch arsenal.
Well, you see, 60% of the time you're going to get a sinking fastball or a righty fastball up. Then he's got the slider that's going to come in on the right-handed batters. The changeup almost looks like a screwball. It goes away from the right-handers, and everything thrown out of the same arm slot. So very, very difficult to center the ball. Look for a lot of ground balls.
And a strike to Hernan Perez, hitting .282. 1 home run. He's driven in 17. Picked up from Detroit. He was put on waivers, out of options, and so he's had a chance to play at this level. Primarily playing against left-handed pitching. And when he was with Detroit, broke spring training with their club, started 2 for 33. So they released him, and he winds up here in Milwaukee. Ground ball, left side, tough play. The backhand by Carpenter, and a strong throw. 2 ground ball outs, indication that the ball is down from Jaime Garcia.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just a real good sign. Also being very economical, but you'll see the left side of the infield are going to get a lot of action with Jaime on the mound.
Pham is in left, Jay in center, Hayward is in right. Get a look at the Dobbs Tire and Auto Center's defense, along with Carpenter on the infield, Peralta, Wong, and Piscotty, and behind the plate, Yadier Molina. There's Jason Rogers. His last start was on Sunday, and he went 4 for 5 against Pittsburgh.
Don Shelby, one of the coaches in Milwaukee, described him as young Bill Madlock. And that's a pretty high compliment, but maybe there's Shelby, but Dr. Strangeglove, as he really doesn't have a defensive position. And we saw him taken out last night for defense. Now he's starting the game at first base.
And another ground ball. Slowly hit to first, taken there by Piscotty. Quick 1-2-3 inning for Jaime Garcia. 1 inning in the books, and there's no score. Toyota keys to the game.
It's kind of simple. Just follow the leader. You know, last night it was Jason Hayward had the big night. Tonight we want you to follow Carpenter. He hits .433 against Peralta, and he's off to a good start with the doubles first time up. And Garcia, just follow what Martinez did, and a good start for Jaime.
Molina on the first pitch, and a ground ball hit to second. Elian Herrera for the first out.
Peralta looks a lot tougher than we've seen in the past, and losing 3 games to the Cardinals. So he's got his velocity, but the one thing about the Cardinals is they just keep on grinding away, and eventually they'll wear him down.
Another key game in the Central. Chicago and Pittsburgh tonight. At last check, no score. Jake Arrieta on the mound for the Chicago Cubs.
That's moving to the bottom of the fourth with that no score.
Here's Colton Wong, and the first pitch is strike.
Arrieta's going for win number 20, and Burnett, A.J. Burnett, who's got the elbow issue but saying it's last year, he's back off the DL.
Arrieta has won 8 consecutive starts. His ERA during that time is .46. The only other man to be that good. Only other time in baseball history, Bob Gibson in 1968 won 8 consecutive starts. At one point, his ERA was .25. That's how good Arrieta's been. 2-2.
And as good as Greinke has been the entire year, there's no way he can catch the all-time lowest ERA leader, Bob Gibson.
1.12.
The amazing thing, you always go back to that year, is how in the world do you lose 9 games with a 1.12?
I still think the most amazing stat of all the things that Gibson did, and the list is plenty long, but 251 wins, 255 complete games. And for our younger fans, Al, that's something that, you know, they'll never see again, and we'll never see again.
No, and Dan, I can't tell you how many major league coaches and players that I've asked that question to, and rarely will somebody say, well, 150 complete games, but nobody gets near that unless they've heard the question before. And take this into consideration, that doesn't count for the times that Bob Gibson won, or pitched 9 or 10 or 11 innings and got a no decision.
It's incredible. Wong draws a 1-out walk. Just keep in mind the most complete games this year in the National League. 4. Bumgarner.
Yeah, and the Cardinals, they have 1. And that was in a rain-shortened game in Kansas City for Lackey.
Time now for you to tweet your strongest fan photo using the hashtag MW DataStrongFan. You just might see yourself in an upcoming broadcast brought to you by T-Mobile. 1-out walk for Colton Wong, and it brings in Tommy Pham, who gets the start in left field. Stephen Piscotty is at first base tonight. Was thinking today about the decisions that John Mozeliak and the coaching staff and Mike Matheny will have in terms of the postseason roster. There are a lot of things up in the air right now. One of those being, you're going to carry 5 outfielders. Which 5 do you take on that postseason roster?
Well, and how much can you rely on, say, a Matt Holliday, who we'd like to think if he's healthy and breathing, he'll be on that roster. But his timing has to be on.
The pickoff down to first, and back in safely is Wong.
One final note on Bob Gibson. One of my biggest disappointments, not that Bob wanted any help, but I wanted to be at least help out and win or save like his 250th win. I didn't get a chance to do that. Mike Garman did, and it's Mike Garman's 66th birthday today.
There's a nice note.
Yeah.
So happy birthday.
Brandon Moss's 32nd birthday today.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tommy Pham. Taken just a bit outside.
But Tommy, his last swing on Sunday was that game-winning home run. Really changed the whole complexion of how that off day was Monday.
There have been 9 stolen base attempts when Willie Peralta is on the mound. Only 4 have been caught. We'll see if Wong wants to do a little running here. 2 balls, 1 strike. He has 15 steals this season. Outside, and it's now 3-1. It's amazing what speed can do in terms of putting pressure on a defense, but also with a pitcher, you're a little bit worried about him, and he may rush that delivery, and I think Peralta may have just done that.
I think you're absolutely right. You get in the psyche of a pitcher, he worries about that base runner or trying to stop it, and he alters his concentration of the plate.
Wow. Deep center, and goodbye. Wow. Wow. Tommy Pham back in the starting lineup launches a 2-run homer. That ball just jumped out of here. 2-0 St. Louis.
Back-to-back swings have been pretty promising for Pham. It's his 3rd home run. Now RBI total up to 10. 2-0 lead for Garcia. And you cannot emphasize enough to these teams that have already been eliminated. And a fastball is on the inner part of the plate, but boy, he turned on that. He hits it to dead center field, but it was like he was looking for it. High off the batter's eye backdrop, and then it bounced into the playing field. But that was definitely over the wall.
I mean, that was just a line drive that turned into a home run. That ball was smoked.
They were thinking about reviewing it. That's why there was a little hesitation there, but there was no doubt.
Schaefer's reaction gave you that.
Yeah.
And now it's John Jay. Fastball and a strike at 95.
But I was going to say that you jump on top of these clubs that have been eliminated, and Cincinnati and Milwaukee have.
Back to Peralta. Look what I found. Out number 2.
You know, they will look for it tomorrow. But if you let them hang around, they'll play you as tough as they did last night. There you see how far over the wall that was.
Clearly a home run.
Yeah. And then it bounces back. But you see off the back wall, and then it came down and hit the top of the fence and back into play. But definitely over the wall. Nice going, Tommy Pham.
12th home run allowed.
There's another, like you were talking about, trying to set that rotation or trying to set that roster. Tommy Pham saying, I want to be on it.
He's the reason I brought it up.
Yeah, and you can see, play defense. He's got the speed to run, steal a base for you.
Hit up the middle. Segura to his left, and he makes the play. This baby just launched off the bat of Tommy Pham into center field. 1 swing, 2 runs, a lead for St. Louis. Check in with Pat.
Well, Dan, you noticed that Matt Adams not in the lineup tonight, but that was by design. Matt Adams told me, yeah, he started yesterday for the first time in 4 months. They're going to give him the day off tomorrow. He says he expects to be back in the lineup come tomorrow for the final game of this 3-game set. He says it's a lot like spring training early on. You play half a game, say 5 innings like you did last night. You'll get the next day off. You'll be back in the lineup the next day until he's ready to go full bore and play every day, which could be potentially by next week. But what he told me as well is that he's kind of surprised himself a little bit with his ability to hit the ball as hard as he has without seeing live pitching for 4 months. It's come back to him quickly, and he likes where he is despite the fact he hasn't had a whole lot of at-bats.
Here is, speaking of home runs, Chris Davis popped number 21 last night. Thank you, Pat. And he told both of us, did Adams, that his greatest motivation was proving everybody wrong. He said, everybody said, I will not make it back, and here I am. So he's certainly configuring the plans in postseason. It's tapped foul, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
And don't you think that's a little bit like Adam Wainwright? You know, they're trying to do it for themselves initially and just trying to come back. And now that it's close to reality, but either way, it's going to prepare him all the more for a healthy offseason. If he does or doesn't.
Sinking liner, and the catch is made. Who else? Tommy Pham.
Definitely was. Got a lot of that top spin. Sometimes you'll hit a ball so hard that it just hooks in a downward fashion. And Tommy right there makes a nice play. It was a much more difficult play than what he made it look.
It was a tough night for Domingo Santana in game 1. He was 0 for 4 with 4 strikeouts. Struck out in the 9th with the winning run at second base and 2 outs. The Cardinals eventually won in 10.
I did notice, and it's not a lot of bats, but he is batting .409 against left-handed pitching.
The defense was so good last night for the Cardinals. Rosenthal with a lot of rest. Hit 101 on the gun in the back end. He gets rest. It's almost automatic. He's going to close that game away.
He was pitching for the first time in 6 days. You know, it's almost, you don't want to give him that much rest, but the Cardinal pitching staff is starting to come around, and you know, defense can really make a difference in how well a team pitches too.
2-2. I thought last night it was the best we've ever seen Carlos Martinez over a long stretch of innings. Now he's been dominant coming out of the bullpen, but in terms of a full start like he had last night in the 8 innings, I thought it was his best.
Well, his manager said it was the best he's ever seen him, and that speaks volumes. And there's 5 punch outs in a row against Cardinal pitching for Santiago or Domingo.
You start to think that the rotation is back on track after being pushed back for some of these guys. John Lackey Friday at Cincinnati, 7 innings. Lynn 6 on Saturday. Then you had Sunday Michael Wacha, Carlos Martinez last night. That's what we've been accustomed to seeing all season long. Great starting pitching.
And it really goes to show you that even when they were losing, it was really that one time through the rotation where they were bad. But the last time through the rotation, and I mean, it'll be a full turn through the 5-man rotation. They've all pitched well enough to win. But now we're back to where we get such little offense that there's no margin for error.
The Cardinals staff has 14 shutouts this year. 5 have been at the expense of the Brewers. Collectively, the ERA by the Cardinals, 14 games now against Milwaukee, is under 2.
Cardinals have been shut out 12 times. 5 of those 12 have been starts by Jaime Garcia. Not tonight.
Here's a 1-1. Lifted in the air into right center field. Jay won't get there. One hops off the wall. Elian Herrera trots into second base with the first hit tonight for Milwaukee, and it's a 2-out double.
talked about last inning when he keeps the ball down, he gets ground balls, and those are going to be gobbled up. Gets the ball up, becomes a little more hittable, and has a chance to get the ball in the air. Herrera is now 2 for 4 against Jaime. Not many people can say that.
I mean, look up and down this lineup for the Brewers. There's a lot of offers in their careers. Small sample size, but still a lot of offers against Jaime Garcia.
And even Braun, who's faced him 44 times, he hasn't had much success against him.
So 2 outs and a runner at second base. Maldonado looks at a strike. We talked to Mike Matheny the other day about catching Garcia. That last pitch, a good indication of how tough it is with the late movement and what the Cardinals teach on how to hold the glove if you're Yadier Molina, which is to turn it ever so slightly to where the thumb is going towards the chest protector to move it laterally. He said that's a way to protect the catcher.
Yeah, and a lot of amateur catchers, inexperienced catchers, not at the professional level, but they're going to kind of reach out and try and stab at the ball when it's out there. But you cannot do that against major league quality pitchers. And then somebody like Jaime with such late movement, you even have to protect yourself. And there would be times when Yadi's hands will just be eaten up with all the innings he's caught, but probably most of the time he'll catch a ball the wrong way, and more times than not it'll be a Garcia pitch.
I asked Mike, I said, have you ever caught Garcia? He said no, but the guy that he reminds him of is Rick Ankiel in terms of not velocity, clearly. He said the late movement. He said Rick Ankiel was one of the toughest guys you could ever catch. So the ball was just darting everywhere.
Hitters will tell you that the ball explodes, and that's kind of the explanation they use, that they'll see the ball coming in, and right about the time they commit to their swing, the ball just explodes and moves.
Taken just a bit high, and a 2-out walk after Garcia got the first 2 here in the second. It's been a double, now a walk, and Logan Schaefer, who initially was not in the starting lineup, now in the 8th position, will bat with 2 runners on.
Came in late in the ball game yesterday and ended up being 2 for 2.
Milwaukee gets to play the role of spoiler here down the stretch. 6 games left with both Chicago and St. Louis. First pitch to Schaefer. Taken for a ball.
Which would be hopeful if the Pirates had to play more games against Milwaukee and play them here. Remember, they swept them. It was a 4-game set, right?
They played very tough in Pittsburgh. Now, Milwaukee did drop 3 of 4. They had a 5-run lead in Game 4.
But they play very well against them here.
They really do.
And that's part of the reason why it's hard to imagine the Pirates could win the Central Division, and they still could, because they are, even with their great run, Pittsburgh's run, and they're 3 games behind the Cardinals, they are 7 games under 500 in the Central Division.
Much of that thanks to Milwaukee. 1-1 pitch to Schaefer. Ground ball hit to second. Taken there by Colton Wong. Brewers strand 2. We play 2. It's a 2-0 lead. St. Louis on top. his roster. So what does he do? MLB.tv. It serves up real-time highlights, pitch tracking info on your out-of-market fantasy players, live or on demand on over 400 devices. Blackout and other restrictions apply. Get MLB.tv today. And now we have our look at the long-term impact. Counsell, Jennings, Murphy, McCannon, as some of these managers prior to them were fired and now they're in. Some of them long-term, some of them could be just until the very beginning of October.
And when Counsell took over, he signed a 3-year contract, and the owner recently has said the new general manager, and they're in a search for one, will have to work with Craig Counsell. So I was talking to some of the coaches yesterday where they're in limbo. They don't know what's going to happen with the coaches. And a lot of these guys that Counsell inherited were organizational guys that have been around a long time with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Here's a 1-1 to Carpenter. Lifts a fly ball out to deep center field. Schaefer back, and this one is gone! Second home run hit by the Cardinals to center field tonight. The first, a 2-run shot by Tommy Pham. This one, a solo home run from Matt Carpenter. And it's 3-0 St. Louis.
22nd bomb for Carpenter. Career high, his 74th RBI. He's 2 for 2, 2 extra base hits, and hopefully more to come. Follow the leader, Dan. Follow Carpenter.
That was your key. So Peralta is allowed now 13 home runs. 2 in this game. 3-0 Cardinals. And a 1-0 pitch to Stephen Piscotty.
It's not a terribly high total of home runs allowed, but remember, he's missed 2 months with that oblique strain. And this ballpark, it's noted for its home runs.
Miller Park has seen the second most home runs hit this year, only behind Yankee Stadium.
And actually, center field here is one of the deeper center fields in a lot of the parks in the big leagues. Straight away 400. And
remember, it was Carpenter, Al, who led off the 10th last night. Reached on the air by Lind and then came around to score on the 2-run homer by Hayward. Second walk issued by Peralta.
Let's hope Jason Hayward can do what happened back in the second after the first walk. I think we'd take a repeat of that, wouldn't you?
Absolutely.
Pham hit the 2-run shot.
The check on Piscotty's back in safely. Hayward looks at a strike. First time up, grounded out to third. The Cardinals were 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position in that first inning. It was a leadoff double by Matt Carpenter. Then Piscotty struck out. Hayward grounded out. Peralta hit into a soft liner for the third out. Another check on Piscotty diving into the back portion of the bag, and he has a couple of steals this year. Scotty faked going to second base and then back to the bag at first, and it's 2 balls and no strikes.
See, the Cardinals, a lot of the runners want to get that secondary lead, and then they have to be aware that Maldonado will throw behind, try and catch these runners with that big secondary lead.
I misspoke. It is 1 ball, 1 strike, but Hayward was trying to figure out the count. The board had it wrong, and we did as well. So it's 1-1. Pulled foul. BJC Healthcare, difference maker. Jason Hayward, tremendous road trip. 500 average, the 5 extra base hits, 3 of them last night. Driven in 4. Rest of the team has struggled.
Wow.
Inside.
But I mean, Dan, that's the amazing thing about the Cardinals is they have the best record in baseball. There's not one player that's on pace for having 90 RBIs. Maybe Mike Carpenter with his 22nd home run, maybe he'll get to 25. But there's nobody that's you would say is an MVP candidate on this ball club. But every day there's somebody that steps up and does the job, not relying on one particular person, and everyone has contributed.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Hayward. Ground ball sharply hit the second, double play ball. And they turn 2 for 6-3 on the double play. The Cardinals and McDonald's are teaming up to bring fans an extra value deal. This cannot be beat. Fans can purchase tickets for just $5 to the Red Series, September 21st, the 22nd, the 23rd. $5 seats on sale now. All you have to do is go to cardinals.com/McDonald's. Strike 1 on Johnny Peralta.
Last night the Cardinals won their 90th game. That's pretty significant because it's the 3rd straight year they've won 90 or more games, and that's happened only 3 times since 1900.
Cardinals the fastest to get to 90 since the Phillies in 2011.
It was the last team to have a 100-win season.
That's St. Louis on pace for 101. We'll see if they get there.
You mentioned that 3 times since the 1900. Cardinals have won 90 or more 3 straight years. Obviously 2013 to 15, 2000 to 2002, and then 6 straight years in the war years, 41 to 46.
The 40s, the 60s, the 80s, and really since the beginning of 2000, the best stretches of St. Louis Cardinals baseball.
You can say that under the ownership group, Bill DeWitt Jr., this is the most success this storied franchise has ever had.
Agreed. We are in the best run.
Absolutely.
The 2-2. And a ground ball slowly hit left side, gloved by Perez, and the tag is applied by Jason Rogers. Solo home run from Matt Carpenter, his team high 22nd, team high 74 ribbies. 3-0 Cardinals.
It's quite the thing. And now the Cardinals, since we've gone into the divisional play and got the Central Division, the Cardinals are trying to win for the 10th time. They have totally dominated the Houston Astros before they moved to the American League, won 4 Central Division crowns. All the other teams combined have won 4, and the Cardinals are looking for Central Division crown number 10.
Willie Peralta looking for his first hit of the year. First pitch is a strike. He is 0 for 27. 14 strikeouts.
Walks.
Yeah, 3 walks. That's the plus. Here's an 0-1 pitch.
There you go.
Don't even say it, Al. Don't even say it. You jinxed him, Dan. I'll say it.
Danny, contrary to I know how you think that you control everything.
Yes.
You have no control over that base hit.
Really? I didn't just
nope,
jinx
you didn't
it.
throw it.
It's not on me.
It's not on you.
Thank you, Al. Look at the standings presented by DirecTV. We're finishing up the 2015 regular season. Pittsburgh 3 back, Chicago 7. And you have an update on that Cubs-Pirates game.
Well, the Cubbies are still batting in the top of the 6th. They lead 1-0, and they have 1 out, runners at first and third. But the biggest thing is you got to take care of your own business. Cardinals need to win this game here. They lead 3-0. Pirates, the Cubs, nobody can catch you if you win the game, your own game.
There are 3 Brewers that have multiple hits in their career against Jaime Garcia. One of them at the plate, and that's Segura's. He bunts and hits Segura.
He's in the batter's box.
And the other 2 are sitting. That's Ryan Braun and Jonathan Lucroy. Braun out with a sore lower back spasms. Jonathan Lucroy with concussion symptoms.
You know, Garcia's faced Braun 44 times. Brandon Phillips is the only batter Garcia's faced more, but Garcia's had a ton of success against Braun. Braun has faced 29 pitchers at least 25 times in his career, and only Garcia has kept him to a sub-200 average. Maybe that's why that back was hurting a little bit.
And a swing and a miss. A strikeout. The second tonight for Jaime Garcia. Here's a look at your DraftKings players to watch update. Outfield leaders in defensive runs saved. Inciarte has had a very good year this season with Arizona. Starling Marte, the Cardinals, Jason Hayward, and Curtis Granderson. I think when you evaluate Jason Hayward, you have to take a hard look at the analytical approach of what he brings to the club. You know, don't look so hard at home runs and RBIs, but look at defensive runs saved and some of those different metrics to evaluate a player.
Well, remember, it was Jason Hayward and his agent that really asked the Cardinals not to negotiate during the season. Cardinals are more than happy to do that. You know, let him play, find the environment in St. Louis, see if it's something. And I think he's been overwhelmed by the fan support, the environment playing in St. Louis. Loves it. But I think you also got to say, if you've gone this far, you're going to test the free agency. And you'd have to think that there's somebody that's going to find him a more value to their ball club and pay the extra dollars.
It takes one.
You take one.
It takes one.
And we've always seen some strange offers, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
I'm not saying he's not a good ball player.
And the thing about Hayward is he's 26, and there aren't many that hit the open market at this young of an age. And so you're also taking into account what kind of player is he going to be at 29 or 32 if he signs a long-term deal.
Well, when you see some of the other outfielders, you think about Stanton and the length of his contract and him being so young, it's going to be a long-term contract. And as you said, he really has not hit his prime years, but you never know what kind of player you're going to be.
I could see him easily doing this, which is what Zach Greinke is doing this year, having an opt-out in the middle of that deal.
More and more players are doing that.
Yeah. So you sign a 7 or 8 year deal, but you can opt out after 4 years. You front load it. We'll see. Fly ball, right field. There's Hayward. He's calling for it. Near the track and makes the catch. 2 outs, and it brings in Jason Rogers. Saturday, MLB on Fox returns. The Cardinals take on the Cubs. Then the American League Central leading Royals square off against the Tigers. That's a game you can only see on FS1. Coverage begins at 11:30 on Fox 6 on FS1 and streaming live on Fox Sports Go.
I might say also, Dan, that I think the Cardinals and most people around baseball are saying this is the model. This is what we want to do to have long-term success, to always be in competition. But they make fair and they make good offers, but you know, sometimes it could be a business, and they don't make dumb offers. And the long-term contracts they've made have paid off.
Long-term, definitely. Some of the short-term,
sure,
not all of them work.
But none of those are real big money.
Exactly. In baseball terms.
Yes. So I don't think we're going to be having a benefit for Jason Hayward.
And I think what you're saying, though, is that, and I think, you know, Milwaukee's a great example. You better draft well and build from within, because they're not going to be one of the big spenders, you wouldn't think. So you've got to develop players. You have to.
I'm trying to go from memory, an email I read earlier today, but it was the Gulf Coast League. Cardinals had 3 players on the All-Star team, including the MVP of the league.
They love some of the young arms, and they are power arms coming up in the system. Number 1 on that list is Alex Reyes, and they have 3 or 4 others that can hit triple digits.
I was wondering, one of them was a left-handed pitcher who's on that list.
Yes,
and
he's one of them.
And I think it's a shortstop that was the MVP. AAA hitting coach that is highly ranked in baseball and did an outstanding job this year, and they kind of reward him, bring him up here and help assist.
The 2-2. Three and 2 the count here on Jason Rogers, who's been their best pinch hitter, but gets a start today at first base. Grounded out to first. He is 0 for 1. And Peralta, the pitcher, is off with this pitch with 2 down and a full count. And it's a call, 3rd strike. 2 strikeouts in the inning, 3 tonight for Jaime Garcia. We head to the 4th. Cardinals on top. First rewind. 5 of the 6 runs in this series for the Cardinals have come via the home run. Hayward, Pham, and Matt Carpenter. That's your AT&T U-verse rewind. As we celebrate Roberto Clemente Day.
And the Cardinals have outscored Milwaukee 50-27 this year.
Come to Milwaukee, you always have to say hello to Mr. Baseball. That's Bob Uecker, longtime voice of the Milwaukee Brewers, 45 years behind the mic with the Brewers in his 60th season in Major League Baseball. Mr. Belvedere.
Dan, you think the Cardinals haven't dominated against Milwaukee since 2013? These two teams have played 16 series. The Cardinals are 15-1 in those series, and a win tonight will make it 16-1.
Tap foul. Bob Uecker, 2 statues, by the way, here at Miller Park.
In the front row.
It's all the way up there here at Miller Park. His statue, and he also has a statue outside, and there's a strikeout of Yadier Molina. Bob Uecker played on the 1964 championship team. Played 40 games for the world champions. A statue in and a statue outside.
Our young viewers had no concept of how good late night television is without Johnny Carson. And the guy that made the most appearances on Johnny Carson was Mr. Baseball.
Bob Uecker.
Bob Uecker. I got to tell you, the first time I heard him broadcast a game, I was disappointed.
So serious.
I wanted it to be Harry Doyle, like, you know, major leagues and everything. But obviously, this is his hometown, and he takes it very serious and loves doing the games.
Spoken to him, I mean, countless times about those appearances, and he said he always made sure that baseball and doing the play-by-play was #1 before anything. And he always had the blessing of then owner Bud Selig before he would go off and do the various stops. There's a base hit for Wong, whether it be the television series or the late night talk shows with Johnny Carson or the movies. He had a great story he told me the other day. Said he had 14 major league home runs, 3 of them off of Hall of Famers. And he said he ran into Gaylord Perry, and Perry would stand up and say, "Here comes the worst day of my life," when Bob Uecker would walk in. He'd have to
admit, he hit one of them.
Yes.
I think I may be wrong, but I thought he hit one off of Koufax.
He did. There was one more. I can't remember who it was. It was Gaylord Perry, Koufax, and someone else. Here's Tommy Pham, who is homered here tonight. Ferguson Jenkins.
And he was a much better catcher than what he ever allows himself or talks about himself.
Well, he told me that originally he was a pitcher, and he would hit, in his estimation, high 80s, low 90s, but they felt he didn't have good enough stuff, and they told him, look, if you're going to be a professional ball player, you've got to find a position. You cannot pitch. So that's when he started catching, because he had a pretty good arm.
Yeah. There's a tuba someplace.
For game 1 of the '64 World Series.
He stole the tuba from a band and started trying to catch balls in the outfield with it.
During batting practice. Why not?
Most people would think that's normal.
They said the broadcasting began because he would be in the dugout or in the bullpen, and he'd imitate Harry Carey. And that's how it all started for him. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Outside to Pham, and it's a full count. We'll see if the Cardinals want to start cold and long here.
Why not? He's been getting, for Willie's been getting his fair share of ground balls.
Turned a double play back in the third off the bat of Jason Hayward. That went 4-6-3. A little bigger lead this time. And this is hammered. Deep left center field. Tommy Pham, his second home run tonight. 4 RBIs. He's 2 for 2. And the Cardinals have a lead of 5-0. It's the Tommy Pham show. It's fantastic.
Now, that's last 3 plate appearances have been 2-run home runs. He hit the one on Sunday that was the game winner in Cincinnati, and you can tell this young man is pretty happy right now with his first multi-home run game and a career high 4 RBIs. And Martinez with the little shower. You ever forgot how that started?
I have no idea. It was with Carpenter, but now it's Pham.
Well, now they're all expecting to. I mean, when you can get a shower from Martinez, you know you've arrived.
That's when you've arrived.
These are no doubters either. This one up on that walkway this time.
1 ball, 1 strike.
They moved to the bottom of the 6th in Pittsburgh, and the Cubs have a 2-0 lead.
And a 1-2 pitch to John Jay. Tommy Pham, to me, with our fan base, to an extent, has been like the backup quarterback. You know, you're seeing guys like Jay get a lot of time. Peter Borges has gotten some time. Brandon Moss in the outfield. And, you know, Pham has not been playing. And I'm sure a lot of fans are saying, why not, after watching these plate appearances here tonight as Jay shoots it foul.
Well, I think we might join the crowd. Why not, after what we've watched here tonight. But, you know, Tommy Pham was a young athlete that just couldn't stay healthy. And he would have made his debut a lot sooner than last year if he could just stay healthy. Well, we're seeing one of the best pure athletes in the organization. Remember, he got off to a great start in spring training, and then he was the first of 3 quad injuries. He tore his quad, missed all of spring, then April and May, before he could get going at AAA.
And a base hit into right field. So John Jay is 1 for 2. And the Cardinals having a little fun here tonight. 5-0 as we play here in the top of the 4th. They start to stretch now in the Milwaukee bullpen.
And this is what the Cardinals are capable of doing. If they get that good starting pitching, then they can go out there and they kind of feel relaxed. That's a nice thing, too, that you're not asking one guy to be the hero every night. So nobody feels like they have to do more than their fair share. And they have definitely spread the wealth around, haven't they?
They have. How about Willie Peralta? He's hard to figure out. Last year against the Cardinals, 3-1 with an ERA just over 2. This year, 0-3 with an ERA that's now over 5.
17-game winner a year ago.
As you mentioned, he was their #1 pitcher in terms of their local Cy Young Award winner, if you will, as Jay was running with that pitch.
Well, you could see why Milwaukee's had their problems. You know, they just had Garza's had his problems in the rotation. He's in that bullpen, and we talked about him not pitching. Kyle Loesch has been sent to the bullpen. He took the professional route by going there and trying to help out the younger players. But the guys that they were counting on, there's 3 of them right there that just didn't come through for them this year.
Now Garcia squares his 1 sacrifice this year. Peralta backhands, goes to second, and ball scoots away. The Segura couldn't hold on, and Jay is safe.
One of those situations where Peralta, you got to get at least one out. The easy one would have been to go to first base, but he spins, he throws, and it sails on him a little bit, Segura tries to go up, but can't hold on to the ball. And you saw the umpire was trying to hold his call. I think he was trying to see if he'd maintain control of that ball, and probably would have called him out.
I wonder if he still would call him out. He came down with the ball, then all of a sudden when it hit the ground is when it popped out, it looked like.
But remember, he did not extract it. He did not reach into the glove and try to take it out, and that's what constitutes having a catch for the force out.
So here's Carpenter, who has a double and a home run. He's 2 for 2. St. Louis with 6 hits tonight, 3 home runs. Strike one. Here's a 1-1 pitch with 1 out. 2 runners on and a check swing, and Carpenter held up. There is an error on that play.
We'll see if it goes to Peralta or to Segura, the shortstop. We'll see pitcher or shortstop.
If it's on Segura, that would be number 18. It would be the second on Peralta.
I would say more than likely it's probably on Peralta.
Agreed. 2-1 pitch now to Matt Carpenter. Carpenter with a high fly ball into right field. The catch is made. Runner at second. Jay will tag up. Advances to third. Runners at the corners. And it brings in Stephen Piscotty. Stephen Piscotty is our Kia in the driver's seat. And you get a look at the most hits by rookies since July 21st when he was called up. Matt Duffy with more. Kia in the driver's seat.
Playing every day, and he's holding his own at that .321 average.
Gets the start at first base tonight and takes a ball outside. He drew a walk back in the third following the home run by Carpenter, and was called out on strikes in the first as Willie Peralta struck out 2. 5-0 Cardinals.
Finally scored it. Give Garcia a sacrifice and a throwing error by Willie Peralta, the pitcher.
And the 1-0. 2 balls and no strikes. Right-hander throwing and getting loose in the Milwaukee pen.
Quick to go to the bullpen in last night's game.
Expanded rosters, really no reason as to why you wouldn't, especially if you're trying to get a look at some of your younger pitchers and players. Here's a 2-0 pitch. Did not go. 3-0. Four RBIs tonight for Tommy Pham, and we're only in the 4th. Pair of 2-run homers.
Scotty, we talked about his 30 RBIs, but 18 of them have come with 2 outs.
The 3-0. 3-1. Hayward on deck. Shade, Piscotty to pull, and a 3-1 pitch. Piscotty with a fly ball into right. Santana puts it away. Tommy Pham, a 2-run homer in the second. And now a 2-run homer here in the fourth. Putting on a show here in Milwaukee. He's driven in 4. 5-0 St. Louis. St. Louis Cardinals baseball on Fox Sports Midwest is brought to you by the Missouri Tobacco Quit Line. Call 1-800-QUIT-NOW. Tommy Pham, a pair of 2-run homers and a solo shot by Matt Carpenter. It adds up to a 5-0 lead as we move to the home half of the fourth. Garcia has struck out 3. He's allowed 2 base hits. It'll be Davis, Santana, and Herrera. Davis is 1 shy of his career high of 22 home runs, which he set last year.
He's got a bunch of them last month and here in September.
Line to left his first time up. First pitch by Jaime Garcia. It's taken for a ball, and we're underway here in the fourth. Count. I think the big question here with Milwaukee, how long will it take to rebuild? Which players do you build around? Top prospect is a shortstop. They say he's a legitimate 5-tool player, so you never know about Segura and his future with the club going into this offseason. Lucroy, Braun. It's such a different looking team without Gomez, Ramirez. 2 legitimate power bats in the middle of this lineup.
Yeah, I mean, it's team in transition.
And you and I were taking the cab back home and talking about how you rebuild. Base hit past Piscotty. Got a late break on that to his right. And a base hit in the third for Milwaukee tonight. So a lot of changes here with Milwaukee. Gomez, Fires, Ramirez, Parra, Broxton now with St. Louis. You know, you start thinking about how you want to rebuild, Al, and you know, do you keep just a couple of guys, or do you say, look, it's a complete rebuild. We're going to build with the farm system and try to restock with what we can with the players that we have and see what we can get back.
The one thing that the team like this is always going to be fighting to draft, sign, develop is pitching. If you don't have pitching, And remember, you've got a ballpark where the ball flies here. It's going to be hard to attract a lot of free agent pitchers to come here. Might have to overpay, but you've lost some of your biggest hitting stars, and now you have to determine, is Braun a big enough chip to go get some pitching?
Hit left side, Carpenter, the long throw to first, and Piscotty does not keep it in front. Great play by Carpenter just to get to that baseball. And runners at the corners and nobody out.
Well, Carpenter did an outstanding job, like you said. Kind of remind you a little bit about Martinez and how athletic his play was coming across the foul line. He did, and then he was so far into foul territory that he couldn't get much on the throw. He spears the ball. Now he's going to kind of have to avert the coach, and that's where Piscotty, with a little more training and experience over there, would have vacated the bag, not try to get the out because you weren't going to get it. The runner was going to pass you, but make sure the hop didn't get by you and allow the runner to go from second to third.
Elian Herrera. Boy, Carpenter was dangerously close to Ed Cedar, the third base coach. There's an outline of a coach's box, and none of the coaches are in there. It never happens. Here's an 0-1. 0-2.
Wow. Ed has been around for about 6 years now, and about 3 years there as the third base coach. And he's trying to get out of the way. And it's been an interesting ruling. One, you could see that he makes every effort to get out of the way. So if there would have been contact, I'm sure the play would have held.
Have you ever seen that where a third base coach touches the third baseman, or at least is in the way?
I've seen them touch a runner, and the runner's out, but
not the fielder.
Not the fielder. And you can see he was making every effort to get out of the way of it. So it would have been interesting. It looks like if he took off the glasses, his nose would come with it. That?
Well, of course I've heard it. Here's a 3-2. Little flare into shallow right. This may drop. Long going back, won't get there. It does. And it's a base hit RBI for Elian Herrera. Garcia's thinking, I made 3 pretty good pitches that have turned into base hits. Piscotty, late break on the initial base hit. That was Davis. The play that we saw with Carpenter, and then this pitch.
Pitch wasn't a bad location at all. It's just Herrera just muscled it out there and picks up his 33rd RBI. He's 2 for 2. And now that's 3 for 5 off of Garcia. 3 straight hits here.
Maldonado breaks it into deep right field. This is trouble. This ball is gone. 3-run homer, Martin Maldonado. And just like that, the Brewers are back in this game.
Only the 4th home run for Maldonado. 3 more RBIs, giving him 17 total. And a pitch up. The last couple innings, you were seeing more and more pitches getting up, and eventually they made him pay. Derek Lilliquist out to talk to settle down Garcia. It's only the 5th home run he's allowed this year. But here in the 4th inning, things are getting away from him. Getting back down the zone, and I'm sure things will get back to normal. We were not expecting that. Seventh spot in the order for both teams, accounted for all the 3 home runs. Carpenter's came in a different spot.
Here's Logan Schaefer. And a ground ball that is fouled.
Four straight base hits here. He'd only allowed 2 hits coming into this inning.
Big sweeping breaking ball.
And he's thrown some good breaking balls, and some of them more to the right-handed batters.
Here's a 1-2. Hit sharply to second, backhanded by Wong. Nice play. Another pitch that was up.
And Schaefer twice has gone after Wong. This time much more difficult, but made the play. Now a breaking ball, and it's kind of stayed up on the inside and played to the side, and a nice little olay, but Hawaiian made the play.
So that'll be it for Willie Peralta. Luis Sardinas be the pinch hitter. He's a switch hitter. And the first pitch is just a little bit high for ball 1. So that's it for Willie Peralta. 4 innings tonight, 5 runs, 6 hits, 3 home runs allowed. And the 1-0 at the knees.
Sardinas pinch hit last night, grounded to shortstop in his only plate appearance. Got to be disappointed in Peralta's performance tonight, but Maldonado's 3-run bomb has got him back in the game.
Off the glove of Garcia, and the stretch by Piscotty. There's 2 outs. Don't miss a minute of the postseason action at Busch Stadium. Tickets for a potential wild card and National League Division Series home games are coming up. They'll be on sale tomorrow at 10 a.m. So postseason tickets tomorrow at 10 a.m. Get yours at cardinals.com/postseason. I'm going to set up a meeting with you and Ed, third base coach of the Brewers. And
Cedar?
Yeah.
Hey, we're old friends. I told him he's one of my favorites because I had a horse that I called Cigar, but it was spelled the same way.
Really?
Yeah. I was telling him that yesterday. So I said he's always one of my favorite guys. I always think of him, and I love that horse too. Little Arabian stud colt.
Interesting.
Pure Polish Arabian stud colt.
Get together tomorrow. We'll talk about it.
You set up the meeting, I'll be there.
You're priceless, Al.
You must have ate something tonight.
No,
you
got me
hot peppers or something. Your face is red.
The 2-1. And Segura is the third and final out for the Brewers back in this game. 5-4. St. Louis as we move to the fifth. By the way, the playoff tickets go on sale tomorrow at noon. So make sure you understand that the playoff tickets go on sale at noon. Cardinals.com/postseason. Take a look at our Chevy call to the pen. So just 4 innings from Willie Peralta tonight. Now Tyler Cravey in our Chevy call to the pen, his 10th appearance. High ERA, 30 2/3, 37 hits. It's been alarming for them. Have been the walks, 14 walks in a limited amount of time.
Yeah, Cravey made 5 starts. He's 0-5, almost a 7 ERA as a starter. 0-1 with a 3.18 ERA in relief. This is his 5th relief appearance.
You'll get Hayward, Peralta, and Molina. 5-4 St. Louis. 6 hits aside, an error aside. That pitch taken in by Hayward, who's 0 for 2. He's bounced out to third and also grounded into a 4-6-3 double play.
Best start that Cravey had was his major league debut on June the 2nd at St. Louis, where he took a 1-0 loss. 7 innings, 4 hits, just 1 earned, a 1-run total, a couple walks and 6 strikeouts.
That's ripped to first and gloved by Rogers, off his glove, and no play. A screamer hit off the bat of Jason Hayward, and the leadoff man is aboard here in the top of 5.
We talked to you about Rogers is an offensive player, really a DH, and really trying to hide him someplace. Doesn't play a good left field. They'll take him out when they have a lead, and trying to hide him over first base. That ball was hit awful hard, and they scored an error.
Third error on Rogers, who initially was in the lineup. They thought about putting him in the outfield position of left and then to first. Soft liner into right, and the catch is made. A sliding catch by Domingo Santana for the first out.
Santana played center field last night, but they really say he's a left or right fielder. But with Davis and Braun, they gave him a shot last night in center field, but with Braun out with the back strain, he gets a more familiar place out and right.
Here is Yadier Molina, 0 for 2. He is grounded out to second, also struck out. Strikes out once every 10 at-bats or so. 7th best in the National League. So you don't see that very often. First pitch taken just a bit low.
I think even more surprising was the last pitch that struck him out was just, you know, a pitch way out of the strike zone and just a weak effort, you know, just fooled by the pitch, and you don't see that happen very often.
You just wonder if that's a byproduct of all the innings piling up this late in the season.
Well, there's no doubt. I mean, he is a workhorse back there. He's caught more innings, has the lowest catcher's ERA, any catcher in the National League. And that's what usually is the case with every year.
Closing in on what, 1,200 innings now this year?
I'll give you that exactly in a second.
Once again, a reminder, those postseason tickets on sale tomorrow at noon. Cardinals.com/postseason at noon.
He's at 1,128 and 2/3 innings right now. And a 2.75 catcher's ERA, and that's the best since Alan Ashby with the Astros back in 1981. He had a 2.33 catcher's ERA.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Yadier Molina. And he strikes out for the second time. Monday pitch arsenal for Tyler Gravy, a 4-seamer, changeup, slider, curve, and sinker.
Throws hard and looks like the changeup the most of his secondary pitches. You can see coming out of the bullpen, maybe you're seeing him once a night, he's probably a lot more effective. But when he's up there that second or third time through the order, you get a read on him.
Here's Colton Wong, who has 2 runs scored tonight, a walk and a base hit into center. The 2-run shot last night by Jason Hayward, that was the first earned run allowed by the Milwaukee bullpen against the Cardinals in 20 straight innings. It went back all the way to April. So their starters have had the issues against St. Louis, not so much the bullpen. And
home runs by the Milwaukee relievers not a strange thing, because they've allowed 53 home runs. That's 6th most in all of baseball, 2nd most in the NL.
By comparison, the Cardinals have given up 30, fewest in all of baseball. Now, it's also a byproduct of all the innings that the bullpen has had to throw this year too, as opposed to what the starters have done for the Cardinals.
Yeah, there'd probably be a huge difference in the bullpen innings for Milwaukee versus St. Louis.
Here's a 1-1 to Colton Wong. I don't like to say a player is disinterested, but I will say that Willie Peralta was not on top of his game tonight.
No, and it looked like as it got away from him, he was almost that same, effect that, it's like, well, it's not my day, why me? And should be thankful his teammates got him back in this game.
A 4-run bottom of the 4th for Greg Council's club.
And Dan, you're constantly trying to battle, maintain your physical stamina, but also the mental part of it. This game just wears you down, playing 162 games a year, and you really constantly have to keep on challenging yourself to stay up. It's much easier for the Cardinals right now, for them trying to close out a season, trying to win their division, looking forward to going to the postseason. But when you're a club like Milwaukee, it's already been eliminated. It becomes it's work. It's fun for the Cardinals, and all of a sudden Milwaukee, they're just trying to play out that schedule, and it's a lot more fun to be on the winning side.
Wong, slow roller to the right side. Cravey gloves, and will tag out Colton Wong for the 3rd and final out here in the top of 5. Cardinals season game by game. Mark McGwire's last great year, Jim Edmonds first in St. Louis. We'll tell the stories of home run records, the Hop and Ricky Anquillo. Cardinals Yearbook 2000 tomorrow 5:30 right here on Fox Sports Midwest. It'll be Perez, Rogers, and Davis 2, 3, and 4 in the lineup. Hernan Perez is 0 for 2 in a breaking ball that's taken in the dirt for ball 1. Last start for Garcia against Milwaukee was August 8th, and he was masterful that night. 7 innings, 2 hits, no runs. There's a ground ball to Colton Wong. 1 away. And Perez is hitless in 3 plate appearances. If you think about it, this is start number 17 this season. 16 starts. That's as many as he had combined in 2013 and 14. And this is a year that the Cardinals were pleasantly surprised with anything that they got from Jaime Garcia. Rogers 0 for 2. Strike 1.
You talk about injuries. He's had the trifecta: rotator cuff, labrum, Tommy John surgery, thoracic outlet syndrome surgery. I mean,
serious issues.
Those are 3 right there. Any one of them could have ended his career. And then to put on top of it all 3 of them, but you've got to give him credit. You know, he's worked hard along with the training medical staff. And you could make evaluations at times during the course of this year. He's been the most consistent starter. He had 2 stints on the disabled list, and that hopefully will propel him in his innings when he goes into late in September and postseason.
Steps and throws, 2 down. Rogers, the former minor league player of the year with Milwaukee back in 2013, is out number 2, and it brings in Chris Davis, who's 1 for 2. Started the 4-run rally in the 4th.
Arrieta's in the bottom of the 8th inning, still pitching, and he has a 1-run lead. It's Chicago 2, Pittsburgh 1.
It's given up just what, 4 hits?
4 hits and a couple errors by each team.
So 2 outs, nobody on. Here's Davis. Ground ball to third in a very quick inning for Jaime Garcia. We played 5 from Miller Park. 5-4. Cardinals on top.
Back to Sunday's game, Dan, that's 3 consecutive plate appearances with home runs for Tommy Pham. Just the 9th Cardinal since 1974 to accomplish that feat. Asked earlier today Mike Matheny about Tommy Pham and his availability and would he be on the postseason roster, and he said, you know, Tommy Pham can hit, but what he really likes is his speed and he likes his defense. And if you've got those three attributes, there's a good chance you could find your way onto that postseason roster. So, guys, that's kind of an early answer from Mike Matheny that Tommy Pham might just find his way into postseason play.
In a game like this, it certainly helps. A pair of 2-run homers. He is 2 for 2. First pitch is taken for a ball. That was off of Willie Peralta, and this is the second inning of work for Tyler Cravey. The 1-0. Pham was looking for home run number 3. Big cut there. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Hanging off speed pitch, and he was ready for it.
The 1-1. So Pham here, then Jay and Garcia. Cardinals jumped out to a 5-0 lead. They lead it now 5-4. The 2-2. Pham, base hit. Extra bases. Into the corner he goes. Pham on his way to second, now on his way to third. Tommy Pham, a pair of 2-run homers, now standing up at third with a triple.
How about that? Well, we've seen the power from him today. Now we also see the speed as he gets that ball just inside the first base bag down into the corner. A stand-up triple. So Tommy is trying to make a statement. A very good athlete. He didn't need to make any decision. He made that decision going around first base that he was going to third. Saw the right fielder. 11 total bases in his first 3 at-bats.
And the infield brought in for John Jay. This becomes a very important at bat in this game with Garcia on deck.
Nobody warming up in the Cardinal bullpen, but Mike Matheny having some words with Garcia at the on deck circle. Called him back to talk to him.
The 0-1. Now 0-2. Jay has singled to right, also bounced back to the pitcher. What a night for Tommy Pham, who stands at third base, visiting with Jose Oquendo, the third base coach. 3 for 3. Pair of 2-run homers and now a triple. Boy, can he run.
Boy, and you just got to win this game so he can really enjoy it.
0-2.
John Jay might surprise people with his career numbers with runners on. It's 304, 210 RBIs. Somehow, some way, you got to get him in.
Infield in and a 1-2 pitch. Popped foul and out of play. The 1-2. Jay pulls it foul.
Some good hacks here. Fouling off his pitches. Wait for a mistake. Big gap out right center.
Two and two. Nobody out, runner at third. 1-run lead for St. Louis. The 2-2. Jay just got a piece.
That pitch there, and a good job to get a piece of that changeup.
It's another 2-2 to John Jay. He's battling.
Pitch up, very conducive to a sac fly. Up a little higher, it's a swing and a miss.
So 17 pitches he has seen tonight. As Al mentioned, a huge gap in right center. The 2-2 again. Taken high. 3-2. Again, nobody getting loose in the Cardinals' pen, so Garcia will hit. The 3-2 pitch. On the inside corner, a strikeout of John Jay. Cravey wins that long battle, and a big out.
Sometimes we've seen a good battle like that, but it takes a lot out of a pitcher. John knew it. Looked like he was looking for something out over the plate, and the ball on the inner half gets it.
So Jose Oquendo talking it over with Garcia, and as they talk, the infield gets together to decide how they want to play this and what they potentially may see here. You know, you think about the squeeze play, but you don't do it many times with a left-handed batter.
Exactly. You know, one of the reasons why is, you know, you could pitch out, and then the runner's coming right down there in free lane for the catcher to tag. They have to be aware of it, and he could be just putting a safety squeeze.
A breaking ball taken high and outside for ball one. Garcia has grounded to short and also sacrificed, reached on an error back in the fourth.
There, at least for the first pitch, he's swinging away, but that could change on every pitch.
Garcia with 12 career RBIs, 1 this season. The 1-0. Foul ball.
Struck out a little more than a third of the times, but he usually gives you a pretty competitive bat.
He does. He'll put the ball in play more times than not. Cardinals asking him to do that here. 1 ball, 1 strike, runner at third. 2 strikes on Garcia.
He also knows that he could help his own cause here.
This would be big, though, boy, if the Brewers get out of this jam.
Now the Cardinals also feel confident that even with 2 outs, you got Carpenter on deck. Carpenter's already got a multi-hit game, home run, and a double. 36th double of the year, his 22nd home run.
On 1-2, Garcia hits it out of play. Cravey trying to get the second out. The 1-2. Garcia pulls it foul. The 1-2. Garcia puts it in play, hit to second, throw to the plate, and they get Tommy Pham, who is limping.
Infield in, it gets by the pitcher, but they come home with the ball, and there Maldonado applies a tag. That right ankle looks like, or
I think
right.
The spike caught in the dirt just a little bit.
They'll take a look at it and see what's going on there, but walking a little better, but I'll ask him what it's all about.
Now it's Carpenter. This inning could loom large by the end of the night. Leadoff triple and don't score. We'll see if that does transpire. Garcia, your runner at first base. Here is Carpenter. And an 0-1 pitch. 1 ball, 1 strike. Carpenter hit one to left center off the wall in the first, and a solo home run in the third. He flied out to right with 2 runners on in the fourth. 1 ball, 1 strike. Well, it's one of those situations where you say you've got to get that runner home.
You hope Carpenter to do something here and make up for that. Carpenter is 1 for 4 off of Cravey. That was a double.
Here's a 1-1 pitch to the Cardinal leadoff man. The 2-1 to Matt Carpenter. 3-1. Piscotty on deck.
Dan, you say you got to get that run in, but you also, Cardinals have to win these type of games.
Sure.
Especially when you're playing a club like Milwaukee.
Especially when you're up 5-0.
5-0. You can't let it get away. You kind of laugh about it a little bit, how close you allowed them to get, but you have to make sure you close out the victory.
Brewers 11 games under 500 since Craig Counsell took over. Milwaukee native.
I say he's really done a nice job. You know, a lot of things went awry. The players didn't perform to where the expectations.
3-2, and that pitch taken low. So Carpenter draws a 2-out walk. Runners at first and second. That brings in Stephen Piscotty. What's on Tap is brought to you by Budweiser. Third and final game of this series tomorrow at 6:30. John Lackey against Nelson. Lackey an 11-game winner. So is Nelson. We'll come your way with the pregame show with the one and only Jim Hayes at 6:30.
I think that 11-9 record doesn't reflect how well John Lackey has pitched this season. And I thought his last time out in Cincinnati, pitched Friday night, the 7 innings, gave up the 2 runs. I thought that was an outstanding performance. Remember, he struck out 10. That would end up being the suspended game. The Cardinals lost on Saturday morning or afternoon. But Lackey was outstanding in that effort.
It's a home run given up by Broxton by Duvall.
Right.
A ball that probably should have been caught by Hayward in right.
Talk to Hayward about it, and he totally agrees with you.
Piscotty with a fly ball lifted into center field. Cardinals will strand 2. And a leadoff triple. They do not score. Sanders, one of our favorites, tells us about the difficulties of playing in Boston in the 2004 World Series. Toyota Cardinals live tomorrow at 6:30, followed by Cardinals and Brewers at 7, right here on Fox Sports Midwest.
I don't know what he says, but I know that was just a total fiasco from, remember, Boston's supposed to make arrangements for the visiting team. Well, Boston never thought they were going to be in the World Series. Weren't they down 3-1 to the Yankees?
3-0.
3-0. Yeah, 3-0 to the Yankees. They didn't think that they're going to be in it. They never made arrangements for the visiting team for the World Series, and the Cardinals were like an hour outside. It just, you know, the conditions were terrible. There was no place for the players to eat. The wives had a bad experience there in Beantown, and I can imagine that some of those things will be an interesting story for people who listen to Reggie. And he is one of our favorites.
Great lineup that was running on fumes in terms of their pitching.
I don't
Cardinals.
think, you know, that's most disappointing to me. That was the best club of this recent tremendous run. It was 0-14, but we didn't see him show up in the World Series.
If they win Game 1, it's a different series.
Yeah, and they should have won Game 1.
Should have won.
If they would have won that, I think they might have swept.
Could have. One of the biggest hits in Boston Red Sox history, Billy Miller, who is now the assistant hitting coach of the Cardinals, against Mariano Rivera, down 3-0. Dave Roberts came in as a pinch runner, stole second base, and Miller got a base hit to tie the game up. And eventually they won that game and then won this series.
And you actually talk about a team for destiny. I mean, that was the Red Sox. Break the jinx of their World Series.
And the worst team, if you want to call them that, of this great run. Yeah, 06.
They won 83 games. The Cardinals won their 90th game last night. The world champions of 06 won 83. If the season would have been another weekend longer, they would have gotten eliminated. But it all came together. Our buddy Jim Edmonds, one of those keys that was hurt down the stretch, but all of a sudden, first game in the playoffs, he was able to play, and guys got healthy, and they obviously played the best down in the postseason, and they deserved to win it.
Strikeout of Santana, now it's Herrera. Big breaking ball in ball 1. Scott Spezio against these Brewers. the regular season on the line, the lead on the line, hits a triple off of Cordero, who is the closer, who was lights out that season. This is yanked down the left field line and pulled foul. That's one of the more famous hits and important hits of that year. And one of the most important plays was Game 1 in the division series against San Diego. Ronnie Belliard, the second baseman, taking a hit away and a RBI away from the outfield grass.
Yep.
And that was when the game ball, remember Jim Edmonds talked about issuing a game ball, which is done in football. Well, they started doing that in the postseason of 2006, and that first game ball went to Ronnie Belliard.
After that play, he was well out on the outfield grass and made that play. And like you said, that team all of a sudden came together, got healthy, and pitched, played well, ran the bases better, played better defense.
And the Cardinals will tell you that something that they really learned was that you do have to change up your roster from year to year. They tried to ride out that team and say, let's get one more year out of them. In 07, Carpenter's elbow blows up in the opener against the Mets. And it was a tough year in 2007.
And on the other side of that is, I remember in the 70s, several times we had chances and things just went awry in the last week of the season, a couple different times.
Popped up Piscotty in foul territory for out number 2.
But we felt, and Bing Devine was a great general manager, really was. But the one thing, if you didn't win, he had to tinker with the ball club. And there was a couple times we felt like, just leave us alone. Let us play one more year together. We found our pace. We found out what the guys work and this and that. Leave us together, and we'll win it that next year. And he just had to go tinker with it.
Be really dangerous, a fine line of.
Yeah, you'd say good to go either way.
Yeah. Just ask the Phillies.
Yeah.
Keeping Rollins and Utley and Howard, Ruiz all together, Cliff Lee, Hamels. Saying, well, one more year with these guys, and then it wound up being, well, one more year.
Well, and you could fall in love with your players like that, and then all of a sudden they're too old.
That's what happened. Ruben Amaro is out with the Phillies. Martin Maldonado, a 3-run homer last time up. Cut this game to a 5-4 difference in favor of St. Louis. '06, the magical series with the Mets. That's one of the great playoff series we've ever seen. The Taguchi, the Wainwright home strikeout of Beltran deep in the hole. Peralta and out of time. Maldonado beats it out.
See this one deep in the hole. Maldonado not the speediest. Good throw. They get him there, and so it's scored an error. And I'm sure that's off of Peralta. Or, excuse me. Scored a
base hit.
Just hadn't put it up there yet. Should be a base hit.
Now it's Logan Schaefer. Ground ball to second. Wong up with it. Garcia's through 6. We head to the 7th. 5-4 St. Louis. The Cardinals take on the Brewers. Stay in your seats after the game to watch a dazzling fireworks display with the Gateway Arch as the backdrop. Get your tickets at cardinals.com/promotions. The Gateway Honda home run inning. Cardinals hit a home run. The Gateway Honda dealers donate $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Hayward is reached on an error that was off of Tyler Cravey, and now a new pitcher is in. Cesar Jimenez. Chevy called to the pen.
Jimenez last pitch on Saturday at Pittsburgh allowed the first runs of the season. He allowed 4 of them, 4 earned runs on 2 hits, 3 walks in just a third of an inning. He allowed the Michael Morris grand slam. He was claimed off of wires on August 21st from Philadelphia. And he took the roster spot of left-handed pitcher Neil Kotz, who was traded to Minnesota. He had 3 appearances with the Phillies this season. He was 3-5, 3.61 ERA, 4 saves, and 41 games in AAA in the Phillies organization.
First pitch to Hayward is a strike. Friend Brian Finch from the Cardinals Hall of Fame Museum says that, among other things, the museum has Yadier Molina's bat from the National League Championship Series Game 7 home run of 2006 currently on display. They've done a great job with that.
Just clean up a little housekeeping here. They did charge an error to Peralta on the ball hit to Johnny off the bat of Maldonado.
I can see why they gave it to him, but still it's a tough error.
Agree. You would think the hometown player, and I have no problem when you kind of help them out a little bit.
2-1. Now 2-2 on Hayward.
Jimenez he is 30 years of age. I was thinking he would be young. He's from Venezuela.
The 2-2. Hayward hits it the other way, and it slices foul and out of play. I've been through the museum a handful of times. My favorite undoubtedly is the Bill DeWitt jersey.
Great story, isn't it?
This incredible piece of history.
And I guess Mr. DeWitt could take it back from he's on loan to the Cooperstown National Baseball Hall of Fame to bring it back into where it belongs, in the Cardinals Hall of Fame.
Eddie Goodell. Strikeout of Hayward. As Bill DeWitt was serving as the bat boy, Eddie Goodell came up and all of a sudden you have a piece of history.
Fastball top of strike zone. Gets him swing through it. Hey, Bill DeWitt's father owned the St. Louis Browns, and when they needed a uniform for Eddie Goodell, they took the bat boy uniform, put 1/8 on it, and then Jim Delsing pitch ran for the Eddie Goodell. Trying to think PC. We're always thinking PCR.
Little people.
Little people. Little person.
Jay Delsing, a longtime PGA professional, worked on the U.S. Open on Fox.
That was his father. Played for the Browns. What a nice gentleman he was.
So was his son.
And
what caught Maldonado.
I always tell Jay, you know, his mother was one of the nicest ladies and most attractive.
I'm sure he loves to hear that.
Oh, you always wanted. I'm sure he thought his mother was good looking too.
Yeah. You're on a roll tonight, man.
You only hear between innings.
2-2 the count on Peralta. By the way, on my scorecard, I never changed it to an error. I think they're going to change that to a hit.
Well, they have changed it back. It's now a hit again.
So it is a hit.
And I changed it.
I knew they would take a hard look at that.
Probably heard us talking about it. Didn't change the scoring, so it should give it to hit.
Back-to-back strikeouts for Jimenez. I mean, you're on a roll tonight.
Yeah, I'm getting excited. The Cardinals are going to win this ball game.
Hell, I'm getting a kick out of you tonight.
They're going to reduce the magic number down a little bit.
That's it out of play. So sometimes we see Molina guess his bat is a little bit slow, which we've seen that tonight. He'll try to cheat.
And I think that's maybe a good example of that. The strikeout that he had back in the 4th inning, where he struck out on a pitch way outside, an off-speed pitch, and he was guessed and guessed wrong. I don't see him do that too often.
And the 0-2. With the day game in Chicago, if the Cardinals would win this game tonight, I don't think anybody would be surprised if we saw Tony Cruz or Ed Easley make a start tomorrow.
Well, I know Mike Matheny would get an argument, but that's one of the tough things managing, trying to manage, keep guys fresh when you're trying to push too. But club will take a bus ride after the game tomorrow night and then have the day game in Chicago. So not the most ideal conditions also. Would you be better off if, say, giving him the day off tomorrow?
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
If you win tonight.
If you win tonight. I would buy that one.
A rare 3-strikeout night for Yadier Molina. Strikes out the side. Time to stretch. For Milwaukee, Garcia pitching into the 7th. Tommy Pham, a pair of 2-run homers. Willie Peralta lasted 4 innings, and Martin Maldonado, a big 3-run homer. That's your Mazda game summary. There's the former Brewer. Mark Reynolds takes over at first base. And in the inning, the Cardinals shift Piscotty from first base to left field. And Pham will shift from left to center. And that pitch is a strike to Shane Peterson. Peterson, a former Cardinal in the minor league system, pinch hitting now for Jimenez. And we'll see the top of the lineup. Just get the idea, Al. This is one of those innings you have to keep a real close eye on Jaime Garcia.
Yeah, I think both of us would not have been surprised if he would have called his night through. Manus did start throwing at the beginning of this inning in the bullpen.
You're also coming off a game that Martinez gave you 8 strong innings last night. And that bullpen should be rested and ready to go.
And off day on Monday, just to accentuate how rested that bullpen is.
Big breaking ball taken high. 2 balls and 2 strikes.
Example is the 4th day of rest for Seth Manus out there in the bullpen. With your double play specialists out there in the bullpen, you might find the first time a base runner is allowed, Jaime may be getting handshakes.
Jammed him, slowly hit. Wong charges and makes the play. First out here in the bottom of the 7th. As promised earlier in the game, we have selected the Data Strong fan photo of the game. Tweet your strongest fan photo to the hashtag #MWDataStrong for a chance to be featured in an upcoming broadcast. It's brought to you by T-Mobile. That's driven into right center. Pham won't get it. Segura can really run on his way to second base. 1 out double and the tying run in scoring position.
Segura now 6 for 19, and that might be the final pitch of the night for Jaime Garcia. Segura's first base hit of the night, but going on fumes. Jaime's looking at Mike like, why are you coming out here? And the motion to the bullpen has already been made.
Seth Manus coming on. Garcia was given a 5-run lead. Now the tying run in scoring position. Manus to the mound. We come back. September 23rd against the Reds. It's halfway to St. Patrick's Day at Busch Stadium. Fans purchasing a special theme ticket receive a limited edition St. Patty's Day themed Patty Cap. Get your tickets now at cardinals.com/theme. Chevy called to the pen, and it brings in Seth Maness. Appearance number 70 here in 2015. This will be Scooter Gennett. Gennett pinch hitting for Perez. Up the middle, backhanded by Wong. That saves a run. What a play, Colton Wong.
We've seen Colton do that many times, of taking that ball up the middle. Looks like it's headed to center field. And then he kind of goes up the elevator and makes that jump, and a strong throw. He's got a real strong throwing arm, and he can make these plays look pretty easy. Got screened by the umpires on the edge of the grass. Jumps and throws. Reynolds aware that the lead runner, he crosses around third base.
What a great play that is. Maybe a game-saving play by Colton Wong to make sure the Cardinals retain this one-run lead. Segura, your runner at third base. Here is Rogers. Brewers have out hit the Cardinals 8-7 in this game. They're trying to hold on for Jaime Garcia. 2 balls and no strikes. And as you mentioned, Wong on that play screened by the umpire to make it even doubly tough. A 2-0 pitch. Hit to short. Peralta. And Maness comes in and shuts the door. We played 7. Cardinals on top.
With this Bommarito Sports Update. Thank you, Kat. We miss you here in Milwaukee, but Kyle Loesch, familiar face, will be on the mound. His 33rd appearance. Kyle's had a tough season.
Well, he was their opening day starter.
Yep, and 5-13 ERA over 6. Made 22 starts. This is his 11th appearance coming out of the bullpen. He's got a couple saves, but I'll tell you one thing. Everybody around here associated with Milwaukee just raves. Elon Herrera is going to play third base. Scooter Gennett at second. But they rave about Loesch's professionalism of accepting the demotion, going down there with the right attitude, and really being helpful with so many young pitchers, trying to teach them how to be a big leaguer, teach them how to handle things at this level.
Wong with a drive into right, and the catch is made. One of the biggest plays in this game, Colton Long, that's part of the story, his backhanded play to save a run to keep this game a one-run deficit. And in favor of St. Louis, Pham, Piscotty, and Don Gutteridge. Rookies with 2 home runs and a triple in the same game. Tommy Pham has done that. 3 for 3 tonight. First pitch is hit out of play.
You're going to have a night, have a really good one. Pretty hard to have a better night than what he has done already. 2 home runs, 2 two-run shots, 4 RBIs, 11 total bases.
1 ball, 1 strike on Tommy Pham. The 2-1. 3-1. Mark Reynolds on deck. Scooter Gennett, by the way, stays in the game at second base, and as Al mentioned, Herrera shifting from second to third. 11 total bases tonight for Pham already, and looking for more. 3-1 pitch. A 3-2 to Pham. Pham with a high fly ball. Deep center field. Did he do it? It is at the wall and caught. Deepest part of the park as he gave it a ride.
Actually, it moved back in that part of the left center. The wall was closer, and then it starts jettison back about 30 feet. So if it was a little further to left field, he would have had his 3rd home run. Gives us a ride. The first, just a little short. Getting a little excited with a Tommy Pham at bat there.
Hard not to. Looking for a 3 home run night. First time that Pham has been retired. And now it's Reynolds, the 1-0.
And our friend Brian Anderson, one of their play-by-play man for television here in Milwaukee, his brother is a big league scout, scouting for Texas, and he reminded me yesterday that Joe Buck and I were part of his major league debut. There you see Brian, but his brother Mike gave up home runs. I think it was 2 and 3 to Mark Whitten in the night he hit 4 home runs in Cincinnati in the second game of a doubleheader.
What a blast that was, and what a blast this is.
Yeah, Jack was on radio.
Jack Buck. 3-1. Hard hitting Mark Whitten. He'll come back for the Caravan and also the winter warm-up. Sunday, September 27th, the final regular season home game. All fans entering with a ticket receive a Cardinals magnet schedule presented by Shelter Insurance and a ticket voucher for a home game for next year. Kids 48 inches and under also receive a free Six Flags ticket. Cardinals.com/promotions for more info. Six for 12 with a home run is Matt Adams against Kyle Loesch.
He's had some success as a pinch hitter since coming back off his quad injury that required surgery.
It was his first start since May 26th for Matt Adams.
As a pinch hitter, he's 4 for 9 with a home run and 2 RBIs. He got that home run and RBIs in Cincinnati, and also first time he came back as a pinch hitter and got a solid base hit right into the right field corner and got to first base. We all said, that's it, no more, don't push it.
Here's a 1-0 pitch. Breaking ball and a strike. Here's a 1-1. Shift is on for Adams. Pulled the string.
Great location on that pitch. Pulled the string, so you're going to have a hitter out in front, and then he just hit the outside corner.
And the 1-2. Loesch to Adams. In the dirt. The 2-2. Instead, Loesch steps off the mound. The 2-2 is hit out of play. Adams hits it back to Loesch. We are midway through 8. St. Louis on top. It's 5-4. Make a plan to make it home. And by Ford, the official cars and trucks of the St. Louis Cardinals. A beautiful night here in Milwaukee. 5-4 St. Louis. The former Brewer Jonathan Broxton is in for the Cardinals. Good work by Maness to get the final 2 outs of the 7th with a runner at second base and only 1 out. And this is our Chevy call to the pen. Those are the season totals for Broxton. Haven't seen him in a couple of days.
Yeah, give him a couple of days rest. Seems like his problems happen when he has to pitch back-to-back days. But has 1 win, 3 losses with the Cardinals, 2.65 ERA, and 19 games with St. Louis. Chris Davis hitting for a 2-run game-winning home run last time we were in town. See if he can't atone for that.
Here's an 0-1 pitch. We saw the velocity get into the high 90s in San Francisco. That's the hardest we've seen Broxton throw wearing the Cardinals uniform. That last pitch at 95.
And we've seen consistently that 95. So higher than that, hopefully, is an indication of rest.
Little tapper back to Broxton. Gobbles it up and makes the play. So that dangerous man, Davis, is out.
Montana is 1 for 3. He got an infield base hit in the 4th, but 4 punch outs yesterday and 2 more again today.
To further that out, 8 strikeouts in his last 4 games.
He was one of 4 young players that came over from Houston in the Gomez Pirates deal.
1 out, nobody on. Strike 1. Cardinals trying to pick up the win for Garcia. If they hold on, it would be his 9th. And trying to improve to 91 and 54.
Just had a bad little stretch to start the 4th inning.
0-1 pitch. 0-2.
Garcia allowed 4 consecutive base hits, finished off with a 3-run home run by Maldonado. All 4 of those runs came in a span of 4 hitters to start the 4th inning. Other than that, he was very good.
David Price wins again tonight. 16-5 with an ERA over just over 2. 212 strikeouts.
Wonder if he'll make any money. He's a free agent.
You know, we were talking about Molina, his importance to the pitching staff. You go back to last night with Adam Lind at the plate, the bases loaded, and he calls a 3-1 changeup on Lind. You know, the confidence in what he throws and what he wants to be thrown.
Yeah, I find it very interesting because, you know, most of the time a catcher just puts a suggestion down there. But our pitchers are so in tune with him that if he says this is the pitch you want to throw, you know, then most of them buy into it and throw it with conviction. The only thing that scares me about that is the days, you know, when he's hurt or not playing, and then, you know, pitcher's never really thought for himself. But they've been able to get by without it.
3-2 to Santana on the outside corner and a strikeout. He strikes out for the 7th time in this series.
And just a young player that doesn't take his bat off his shoulder on a fastball, but that was well placed. 96, 97 with some of these fastballs in this inning from Broxton. I think that's the key. He needs, you know, when he has the rest, doesn't throw back-to-back games, Broxton's fine.
Elian Herrera, 2 hits tonight. Second multi-hit game over the last 3.
Switch hitter. This is his strong side, the left side. It's 256. He was a 205 hitter, right-handed.
Carpenter is on the line and in. Good 3 or 4 steps, and that's driven to center. Pham going back, and Pham makes the catch. And a 1-2-3 inning for Jonathan Broxton. Nice play by Tommy Pham. He's been all over the place here in game 2 of this series. Started in left, now in center, tracks that baby down. We head to the 9th. Cardinals on top. right, Jim, thank you. Breaking ball from Loesch to Carpenter is a strike. Jake Arrieta tonight for the Cubs. 8 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs. Now 17 straight quality starts. ERA stands at 1.96. They're tied at 2-2.
2-2, moving to the bottom of the 11th.
Carpenter, a drive into deep right center field. And this ball is a ground rule double. What a night for Matt Carpenter. He is a homer tonight. He's on base for the 4th time, and that's his 2nd double.
His doubles are up to 37. I was shocked when I saw Carpenter. What would you think his batting average would be against Loesch?
I would anticipate good.
I would too, but that's only his 2nd hit in 17 plate appearances. I was very surprised, but that's the Carpenter I thought we'd see.
And now it's Piscotty. It's a big, big run out there at second base.
Yeah, Piscotty looking for his first base hit of this series. He had a hitting streak stop last night, 0 for 4 in a walk.
Rosenthal, by the way, is getting loose in the pen.
Yeah, the hitting streak was at 6 games, so we talked about how well he drives in balls. You know, hitting over 400 runners in scoring position.
And the 0-1. You see Piscotty trying to shoot it to the right side, at least moving Carpenter to third. Cardinals had a great opportunity back in the 6th. Pham had tripled to lead off the inning, and they could not bring him in. But the bullpen has done a very nice job thus far. Manus, Broxton, in relief of Garcia. And an 0-2. Popped up into shallow right. Jeanette makes the catch in foul territory. This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the Cardinals and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Cardinals. In steps Hayward.
Loesch probably knows that Hayward is hitting pretty well in the pass. It's 5 for 14, a couple doubles, a home run. Or first base open. They'll play this pitch carefully to him.
Inside to Hayward. Texas rolling over Houston tonight. Prince Fielder in that series, the former Brewer, hitting .615, 3 home runs, 8 RBIs. Rangers are in first place by a half game at the start of play. Here's a 1-0 pitch to Hayward. Off speed delivery in the dirt. 2 balls and no strikes.
Said a big run out there. Hayward put on a show last night.
Matt Carpenter, your runner at second base with a leadoff double. 1 down as Loesch takes a look at him.
It's a 6-game, or excuse me, Hayward's 6-game hitting streak is on the line here. Barring extra innings, his 4 straight games with multi-hit games would come to an end too.
I think Loesch thinks that Carpenter may be stealing signals. He was glaring back at Carpenter, and now they may be changing up the signals, and Carpenter kind of shrugged his shoulders as if to say, what's the problem here? Matt has been at second base multiple times.
I think pitchers and catchers think that base runners are stealing signs or relaying signs more often than that ever happens.
2-1. Two-one pitch. Inside. The 3-1. Inside, so runners at first and second for Johnny Peralta. Join us on Sunday, September 27th, the final regular season home game. All fans entering with a ticket receive a Cardinals magnet schedule presented by Shelter Insurance for next year, and a ticket voucher for a home game for next season as well. Kids 48 inches and under receive a free Six Flags ticket. Visit cardinals.com/promotions for more information.
It looked like he wanted to pitch around Hayward, but Peralta has got good numbers. Against Kyle Loesch, 320 average, 8 for 25. One double, home run.
Oh, 1 pitch. Runners will advance to second and third. Maldonado keeps it in play. What an athletic play that was to make sure that didn't scoot into the dugout.
That would have been a big play if that could have gotten 2 bases for the runners. But here you see slides to stop it, and then right on the edge of the bullpen, or excuse me, the dugout. It's been interesting if momentum carried him in there.
Well, his foot was in there.
Yeah, I don't think it would make a difference, you know, because it's just if now they're going to walk Peralta.
Load the bases for Molina, who has not looked good tonight. Yachty with 3 strikeouts, 0 for 4.
We could, one swing, you could change all that negativity. You could be catching another victory and come up with a key insurance run base hit.
2 guys that know each other so well, Loesch and Molina.
And, you know, it seems like every time that Molina faces somebody who's caught it a lot, he has success. And Yachty does. He's 12 for 24.
Molina with 3 strikeouts tonight. Hasn't done that since 2013. He's done it 3 times in his career.
Not only is he 12 for 24, but 3 doubles and 3 home runs against Loesch.
They shade him to the opposite way. Bases loaded, 1 out. First pitch is swung on and missed. He is just not looked comfortable at all in his plate appearances.
And that bat just dragging through the zone right there. 3 grand slams. Big gap out in left center. Pull the ball down the left field line. Cardinals get two runs for sure, maybe 3.
Here's an 0-1 pitch to Yadier Molina. Bases loaded in his career. He's given up 10 grand slams. 324 average. This year, 1 for 5. And no grand slams allowed. 1-1 pitch to Yadier Molina. You could certainly understand why Craig Counsell would want to do this.
Oh, no doubt. the numbers say you wouldn't do it, but what Craig Counsell is saying, what he's seen Yachty swing the bat tonight. We can make all the decisions in the world, but it's up to the execution of the players to determine whether it was a good one or a bad one.
Bases loaded and a 1-2 pitch to the Cardinals catcher. 2-2.
Pitch, walk.
Rosenthal is plenty loose. He's just standing on the mound in the Cardinals' pen. He'll pitch the bottom of the ninth.
Well, it depends. You got another reliever up. If it's a non-save situation, it may go to
the 2-2. And Molina strikes out for the fourth time. Yeah, you can throw those numbers out the window with the way that he's swinging the bat tonight.
Four straight strikeouts, 0 for 5 on the night. He's 3 for 20 on the road trip.
So it's Colton Wong. Two outs, bases loaded. And Wong, it's a fly ball into right center, and Loesch will get out of this jam. Sends us to the bottom of the ninth. Rosenthal coming on. 44 of 46 this year. Bottom of the ninth. Mark Berlanson with a National League high 46 saves. Rosenthal trying to pick up number 45. He was dominant last night. So Chevy called to the pen. 5-4 in favor of the Cardinals. Adam Lind will pinch hit. Came into the series batting .338 off of right-handers. Well over 300 here at home. First pitch is strike. Rosenthal basically is turned into a two-pitch pitcher. Fastball, changeup, occasionally the curve.
There were times when he first started in this role where he was a 4-pitch pitcher, but it's hard to maintain 4 pitches pitching in late relief. Through 17 pitches yesterday, had 2 punch outs, including the last man on a pitch over 101 miles an hour.
1-2 the count. Went with the changeup yesterday to get Lynn. This time it's a fastball at 99. Cardinals had a 5-run lead. The Brewers put up 4 in the 4th. 5-4. The 1-2 pitch. Hit out of play. Doesn't get the call. Chicago is out to a lead in the top of the 12th. We'll see all the highlights and the details on that coming up in the post-game show. Swing and a miss and a strikeout of Adam Lynn. The first man is retired by Rosenthal.
Schaefer got a base hit off of Rosie in last night's ball game. This is the strikeout. And Lynn way out in front of him. Change up. It was the only plate appearance. Official plate appearance. He's 1 for 1. And also walked against him. But
now Logan Schaefer. Strike 1. Strike 2.
Rosenthal has been so much better this year at retiring the first batter. Still trying to work on pitch efficiency, but he is a max-out type closer. And if he picks up this save, number 45, it will tie his career high set last year.
The changeup got him. Back-to-back strikeouts and 1 out away from win number 91. Let's turn to our Budweiser player of the game. Who else?
Pretty good idea who it would be.
Tommy Pham. 3 hits tonight, 2 2-run homers, a triple. A fine play in center after starting this game in left. He's your Budweiser player of the game.
Had a couple of exciting games for the Cardinals, but this would be his best at the major league level.
Nevin Ashley. Strike 1. And the Cardinals are 2 strikes away from win number 91. The 0-1. Now it's 0-2.
Ryan Braun's on that bench, but he didn't start with back spasms. He's 6 for 10 with a home run off
the 0-2 pitch misses. The 1-2.
99 with that delivery.
Ended it last night with a 101-mile-an-hour fastball. The 2-2. He got him. Strikes out the side. The Cardinals win it. Save number 45 for Trevor Rosenthal. Win number 91 for the St. Louis Cardinals. And what a night for that youngster, Tommy Pham. Big, big win.
What a night for the Cardinals and whole. Garcia wins the game. He had that one bad stretch. Cardinals had enough offense with their 3 home runs, 2 by Tommy Pham and a Carpenter home run. They hold on for this one, and that's what's all important. The Cardinals are knocking those marks off, the wild card mark.
On to the postgame show. Day around Major League Baseball, we celebrate the life of Roberto Clemente. And tonight, Tommy Pham.